about to turn it up.
The future is here. ENFYS NEST is the future. This character is a plug-and-play character, light-side scoundrel attacker who can be put on any team just like the Wampa. And for anybody who can't get enough guild currency, you can use her instead. She will be for sure viable at 3 stars, gear 11, much like Scion, who can be plugged into any team and make the team better. ENFYS NEST is like Wampa 2.0. Nest is specifically built and generated for arena and territory wars in the game. Totally free to play viable in the way that you're going to unlock it. Going to be a marquee character that you unlock very soon, so super excited about that. But Nest has 16 different abilities that are happening in these 4 abilities. We're going to go through them, but super durable attacker with really good high damage. One of my favorite characters for 2018 for sure. We're going to go through modding as well briefly, but first we're going to go through the abilities. So Cut Through has an Omega. If you max it out, it will deal damage. It exposes the enemy for 1 turn, and the target will be dispelled of any defensive buffs. So pretty crazy because it's a triple mollywop in the best sense. It damages them, dispels the defensive buffs, and then exposes them. And it exposes for 1 turn, but that's all you need it for, just enough to be able to hit and do damage. My testing, and you'll see the expose is extremely reliable and really helps to chew through teams. So I forget how much expose does, but it's absolutely amazing. And this is on the basic. What's really, really cool too is this basic cannot be evaded. So it says dispel cannot be evaded. So for any of the Foresight characters such as Jedi Training Rey, BB-8, you can just smash them. Just like Wampa can hit through evasion, she ENFYS NEST can hit through evasion. Now some of the defensive buffs, so you guys understand what those are things such as defense up, health up, protection up, evasion up, tenacity up, so it takes away tenacity, as well as taunt. Taunt's considered a defensive buff. Stealth is considered it as well. Foresight, heal over time, and crit immunity that you get from like General Kenobi. So really, really cool. Now I did test it. When you hit, it takes the old one away, and then General Kenobi may apply a new one. So it may not look like it's taking away the critical immunity, but it is. But these are all defensive buffs that she'll strip when she hits and applies that expose. Really helps for your team to chew through. Super awesome basic. So much going on that basic. The first special has a cooldown of 3, and it is called Sudden Impact. And this thing, again, is another triple mollywop. Does 3 things. It does damage, of course. It stuns the target and puts buff immunity for 3 turns onto the target. That is so awesome. It says if the target had any protection, this damage or this attack will deal 50% more damage and ignore armor. Mix that with the expose. Really, really excellent. Untitled Charge is where another amazing special, a second special. There's actually 4 things going on this ability. It's going to be AoE damage. So this has an AoE damage every 4 turns, and it's AoE daze. Just like Wampa has an AoE daze, it's an AoE daze, but it also removes 20% turn meter from any full health enemy. And then also you'll gain 40% turn meter for each one with less than full health. So if the damage is dealt and anybody fell below that full health bar, it's going to speed her up. And anybody who has more, it's going to take away turn meter. The unique, the first 3 abilities are Omegas. This one is going to be a Zeta for the very end. The Zeta, in my opinion, is required because she's super overpowered with the Zeta. Without it, she's good but can get caught up in characters such as Scion. So she has an 80% counter chance, very similar to Wampa. He has got 100% counter chance. She's got 80% counter chance, but she can ignore taunt with her Zeta. So if you Zeta her, she gets the ignore taunt capability for the entire battle. This isn't a one-time thing. This is just the entire battle. So unlike CLS, who has to have his special buff up, or Han Solo, who gets to do it at the very beginning, she gets to do it throughout all of battle. And then whenever she's damaged by an attack, which is going to happen quite a bit, people are going to be intimidated by this mad attacker. Just like the Wampa, people want to get rid of the Wampa. Well, people are going to want to get rid of her. She's going to turn into a target for Fracture, and I'm going to explain that you probably want to run her with Wampa or Han Solo or someone that does mad damage, so that way you have at least one massive damage dealer out on the board, really causing and posing a problem for who they're going to fracture, as well as the tank out there, which will create some issues as well. But she's going to get damaged, and when she does, she's going to gain 30% critical chance and 40% bonus protection, and that stacks, and it's 40% bonus protection additional each time. So if she keeps getting hit over and over and over, she's going to get mad crazy. So if they do like General Kenobi's mass attack on her and it doesn't kill her, she's going to have a ridiculous amount of protection gain and critical chance gain, which is going to guarantee her damage. And then of course that particular bump will actually expire and reset at the end of her next turn. So after it gets back to her in the end of her turn, all of that stacking, crit chance, and protection will fall off. But it'll happen even if some falls off, other stuff will rejoin, and she'll continue to get that stacking as long as people keep hitting her. So as long as they're hitting her, some will be falling off and some will be getting added on. So pretty cool. And then also whenever an enemy loses a buff or a debuff, so anytime green or red falls off the head of your enemies, Nest is going to get 2% critical damage, stacking, and health steal, 2% stacking until the end of the encounter. So that's huge. Now, 2% health steal doesn't seem like a lot, but it does add up over time of a battle. And critical damage doesn't seem like a lot, but it does add up over the time of a battle. And remember, she can dispel on her basic, so which is absolutely crazy because she has counter, which means she's going to constantly be countering and dispelling, and that's going to constantly be giving her more health steal stacking and crit damage stacking. Pretty awesome. One of my favorite characters for the year. The modeling looks amazing. If we go into mods, the way I recommend modding her is going to be for crit chance set and a crit damage set, and then I highly recommend going speed arrow with a crit damage triangle with either a protection or offense cross. I did protection for durability in arena, and then on the bottom left I would recommend protection circle, but I put health because this is one happened to have speed on it. Otherwise I probably wouldn't have done it that way. Defense up here and offense of course up here. And if you look at her stats are amazing. She's about 75,000 health and protection for an attacker who has regenerating protection. Pretty much every time she gets hit, she gets 40% protection stacking, which is nuts. She's ridiculously fast. She's 159 speed base. Almost 160 speed base, which makes her easy to get over 200 speed, which is really going to help, especially if you pair her under a Rex lead. That will make her lightning fast. Pretty amazing. I do recommend getting her critical damage to 216. Now, I have her potency very low at only 44% and tenacity at only 41%. And her 44% potency, she still very consistently applies her debuffs such as buff immunity and the expose and the AoE daze. The daze didn't land every time, but you'll see in the video footage that still pretty consistent. Her physical damage numbers are not huge. She's not going to put up like 30 and 40,000 hits all the time. A lot of her hits were 5 to 15,000 because her damage multiplier isn't that high. Her physical damage, I got it up to about 2,700. I think with great focus, you could probably get it around 3,000. And her crit chance was at 50%, which is really good. Very consistently going to crits. Armor for an attacker at almost 30% is pretty amazing, but a lot of that, 4% of that, came from mods. Now I want to show you in battle. I did try her with the new Scoundrels, as everybody probably suspected. The new Scoundrel team, I had a really tough time winning actually any battle versus any of the current meta, so I went ahead and made up my own composition with a Rex lead that I think is that go-to team that everybody should have, and I went ahead and went against a number of meta teams. This is on the test account, so everybody has ridiculously good mods, including this account now for myself, so you'll see it's pretty fair. She's amazing. I can't wait to add her to my collection. Check these battles out.
I hope nobody do a smash and grab.
This is the current meta, and I wanted to test this team against the current meta. And so let's see. We're going to fracture Scion so we can do our bidding. And let's see. It's cool she can target anybody. Nest can target anyone. Do we want to daze them and remove turn meter? I think so. Bam. Let's put some tenacity up. And let's give her another turn. This is her chance to shine, so that's why I'm giving her so many swaps, even though it's not necessary. Let's go ahead and stun Emperor Palpatine. And let's see, buff immunity. That's true, too. That's such a good... Man, there's so much going on. Every ability, it's so amazing. Let's get rid of Emperor Palpatine. Bam. All right. Now let's go back over to Scion. Boy, all the attacking is really fun. ENFYS Nest has an 80% counter chance, and that took away positive, like, defensive buffs. That's really cool to constantly be stripping the positive buffs away. Let's do another AoE daze. Wow, he went to Hell by Hatred quickly. So let's fracture him, ignore him, and we'll move on to Darth Nihilus. Can't give him too much time. Look at the expose. Got the stun. Man, ENFYS Nest is really a plug-and-play character. Works very well like Wampa against these teams. And luckily we still have some AoEs left in the pocket, because we're going to have to do that for Scion. Alright, I think AoE daze and turn meter removal. The countering is really nice. Give him some protection back. He'll die. We gotta hurry up and kill Darth Nihilus. 25,000. That was very impressive. Let's get rid of Thrawn now. This is one of those teams with the countering. I'm not sure you can leave it sitting around. There was 11k on a basic. That's solid. Because the damage is stacking. She gets more and more crit damage. Although we're in a perpetual state of Scion. Give him more protection. Let's get some AoE daze. Got resisted the stun, but almost dead and ability blocked. Let's go after Thrawn. Look at that protection. It expired, so it fell off, but it's kind of a cyclic thing, that protection. She'll get it stacking and then lose it after the second turn. And he'll come back. He resisted the daze. Hopefully he doesn't use it. Ah! Man, I tell you what. He is definitely annoying at times. Alright, there we go. A stun. Bam. Got some buff immunity on there. Killed him. He's going to do it again. There's 8,500 on a basic. Not a super amount. We'll do that. So the damage output is good. I wouldn't say it's phenomenal, but ENFYS NEST is a ridiculously durable attacker and really, really good in the arena. And with the right combination, I think she is going to fit in very well in many, many, many team comps, including the newest prepared team. Although I like Nest the best of all the characters because you can use Nest anywhere.
Said I hope nobody do a smash and grab.
Of course, gotta try the Rey Jedi training teams. Let's put some tenacity up, some retribution. Let's do a daze on everybody. Didn't get them all. Let's go ahead and start going after R2-D2. And he's got daze, so he won't counter on that. BB-8, annoying. We'll fracture. Let's get some more daze out there and some more damage. And let's do a stun and get rid of that buff. I guess that buff is not considered a defensive buff. We'll go ahead and get rid of him. Almost there. While he's stunned and exposed. I really like the exposed mechanic. Let's go ahead and start going after, I guess, Rey Jedi training. He hits right through foresight, so Wampa's good. Also, ENFYS NEST has an unavoidable attack, which is really, really good. Let's fracture Rey. So the basic can't be evaded. I just want to showcase that. So here we go. Foresight's up, but whap hits anyway, which makes for two people that can hit through foresight. That is the doom for Rey Jedi training teams for sure. Cannot hide any longer with foresight. And daze. Swap with General Kenobi. Rex is there for turn meter. He's really not there for anything else. Let's do basic because it'll go through foresight. Love that. And he's gone. And the second special cannot be countered or evaded as well. It's an AoE daze. And did quite a bit of damage and fracture. That's a pretty awesome team comp, and walked pretty much through it other than losing Rex.
I hope nobody do a smash and grab. Said I hope nobody do a smash and grab.
Ooh, so it looks like I found a team to go against with Traya. And let's see, we are going to fracture Scion. And we're going to start working on Emperor Palpatine. The exposes should help. Let's daze. Let's get some counters. Yeah, counters help. Of course, he heals. Let's do stun and buff immunity. There you go. Let's go ahead and get rid of... Let's get rid of Darth Nihilus. We're gonna have to. The countering is really nice. It's really helpful as naturally starting to take these characters out. Let's give ENFYS NEST the ability to go. And expose. I love the expose. And let's do second special. That's another daze. Let's try it. Bam. He cleansed himself. Alright. Held by Hatred is up, which sucks. But, I don't know. It's 5 against 3 right now. He dodged that. Let's get rid of Thrawn. Let's fracture him, and let's get rid of Traya and Thrawn. The expose is like clutch right now. And that is not unavoidable. I love that. Daze. And stun. She does cleanse the stun, so it's kind of a moot point to stun her. But this team just walked through the future meta really, really easy. And of course, Scion's gonna come back to life with Held by Hatred. But still, we'll kill him here in just a second. Hopefully he doesn't get it off immediately. I'll have to kill him twice again. Which is okay, because the damage for this team ramps up as the longer the battle goes on with ENFYS Nest and Wampa. So the longer the battle goes, the more damage that they do. Wow. That is crazy. This is definitely looks like the possible future meta for sure. Wow. As always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below and keep your gaming on. Warrior out.